In the year 1997, the future is in chaos and turmoil. Mankind is on the brink of extinction. Brave survivors band together and build a time displacement apparatus to receive a signal from a parallel future. This transmission is the Bundacast.
Welcome to the Bundacast, the official podcast of Wunderblog.com, the home of UFF8 coverage, Unnamed Footage Fest. It is I, your host, Steven Escudero, and I am so happy that our short film that we made here with the podcast crew has made it to Unnamed Footage Fest, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing a fellow filmmaker, director and filmmaker behind the short The Hedge, Trey Murphy. How you doing, Trey?
I'm doing great. Doing wonderful. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
Yeah. So since we're unable to fly out to San Francisco this year from the East Coast, we're trying to do as many filmmaker interviews to kind of, simulate the experience and, help spread the word of all these awesome movies. So is this your first time at Unnamed Footage Fest? Is this your first,
It is. It
like
is. Yeah.
found
So
footage film?
I discovered this festival just looking for found footage festivals not long ago. I saw it and I surprised I didn't know about it and was thrilled that we were accepted. It looks pretty badass.
Yeah. Are you gonna make it out, or you're also
I wish I
staying
could.
behind?
I'm not going to be able to make it this time around.
Okay. So you get to simulate it with us as well.
Yeah.
Um, so how did you get started into down the path of filmmaking?
I was about 10 years ago. My son was just born and I was sitting around thinking, I shouldn't let being a parent, being a parent's one of those things where you want to show your kids that it's not the end of the world and that you can still go out and do stuff. And so it was more of like showing them, hey, this is my passion. I'd like to get out there and start doing it, and I did. I found some local filmmakers, started doing behind the scenes photography for them, and got to know a lot of cast and crew in the Dallas Fort Worth area, and started making films, and we've just been going since then.
That's super inspiring, bro. Oh my God. So so you have like a full day job, and then like on the side, when you're not, managing the kids and life, you go into filmmaking.
I do. Yep. I've got the regular 9 to 5. Thankfully, they're very flexible with me though, because they see the some of the stuff we get to do, and it's one of those just get your stuff done and do whatever else. So it works out really well.
That's super cool. The Hedge is a very special film. Like it's legit shoot shot all on VHS.
It is. It is. I found an old camcorder in my garage when I was cleaning it out that a friend gave me about 20 years ago and got it all fixed up. It still worked. I had an old Blockbuster VHS tape, blank tape,
Whoa.
lying around. I thought let's shoot something.
So did you guys shoot it like in sequence, or did you like actually like do takes and then cut it afterwards, or like, is it?
It's we did different takes. So a lot of the stuff though is just spur of the moment, like with the kids when they're playing in the pool or they're out just having a good time. That was me doing real dad stuff. Like, oh, hey, yeah, I'm gonna be, late 80s, early 90s dad with this brick on my shoulder, and I'm gonna follow them around and see what they do. And it turned out looking great. That actually inspired us to see, well, what can we do as far as like a found footage flick? And then my son and I sat down and we sort of scripted out where we wanted to go with it, and I just incorporated those, dad moments into it later on.
So when he gives you the thumbs up and the smile, does
Uh-huh.
he know this is for it and he realizes it, or is it, just that was just organic?
That was all organic. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's so fun. That's so cute. And it's such a fun performance from all four of you. Um especially you, like the little noise you make when you are looking in the mirror with the camera is like so wholesome. There's a very wholesome quality to the whole short.
Well, and I think if you enjoy, uh, you know, what you're doing, that it comes out. It really comes out. And so that was all natural. The the looking in the mirror and just being genuinely thrilled that this old like antique piece of hardware was still working. That was great.
Hmm. So did you and your son like make an outline of like, we're starting here, we're ending here, or it was just like, where are we gonna take this?
It was more of, let's get a couple ideas together and let's just go out and shoot it. And then when we're done with that, okay, yeah, let's see where that goes. Like with them sitting around on the slab that we have, they're drawing pictures and with chalk on the slab. We were building a shed in the backyard and we were like, well, how can we incorporate this? Oh, here's an idea. And just sort of came up with it on the fly. And then later on that evening, sat down and like, okay, where can we go with this? We had the ending figured out, and we knew we wanted to incorporate all of this other footage that I had taken months ago. And then we just sort of filled in as we were going.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome. Are there any plans to expand it? Because I love a backyard horror movie. Like one of my favorites is The Gate,
Oh
where they
yeah.
put the hole in the backyard and it's like, the portal to the unknown. That's like
Hmm.
so scary. Any plans to take this beyond just a short film?
I don't know. We haven't really talked about it. We were talking about doing like a backyard anthology of
Oh, that would
found
be cool.
movies where it all takes place essentially in the same backyard, but different stories. Thought that might be a good idea. And then when we finished it, just putting it all on one VHS tape. Thought that could be kind of fun. But yeah, we don't have any plans as of right now is where we're going with it. We've got other shorts we're working on.
That's a really fun idea. I like that. I like that a lot. I was actually thinking that the short was I felt like a little bit of like a misdirect at the beginning because like as soon as you and your wife said like this is like time travel, you know what I mean? With the
Mhm.
2015 on her arm and the sweater and the camera and everything. I was like, "Oh my God, is this going to be a time travel short? Is this a magic camera?" Like my R.L. Stein head started spinning.
Oh, that'd be really cool. That's a good idea. I like that.
Take it, run with it, go for it. Uh, I thought everyone's performance was really fun. I'll get into spoilers in the last couple minutes and give a little spoiler warning. Because I do have a spoilery question for you. How long was the edit? Did you guys edit like VHS to VHS, like old school, or did you use actual, regular computing power?
I use regular computing powers. I don't have the patience to do VHS to VHS these days.
Time is money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the editing process was a lot of fun because we didn't know what order we wanted to put everything in, and the first cut of it actually ran for almost 20 minutes.
Whoa.
And I rearranged a lot of stuff, took a bunch of stuff out, trimmed down, and it's a lot better now than it was, as 90% of films are.
No, I feel like the like in the pacing, like the creepiness starts at about like the 3 minute mark. So I think that's it was I think 10 minutes was a good choice. Definitely. Um it must is it so is there I don't want to say a director's cut, but like how many darling moments did you have to execute?
Oh man, several. Yeah, I had a lot of, especially with my daughter, because she's really cute in her glasses and whatnot, and
Hmm.
just the way she talks with that really high pitched voice. So we had to get rid of quite a few of those moments, but we've got them to look back on.
For sure. Was there ever the kids eating ice cream scene? Was that in the movie? Because we get around to you actually feeding your kids ice cream. I was like, hey, they were rubbed.
No, no, we didn't film it, but I sugar them up every now and then. So
Okay. That was also a really, immediately endearing moment, you know what I mean? As your wife's driving away and the last thing she tells you is don't eat wait till after dinner to eat ice cream, and you're in the driveway literally like, all right, let's go do it. Like that is
yeah, when
immediately like that tugs the audience's heartstrings in a good way.
well, you got to be the cool dad too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, okay, let's get into spoilers. Spoilers, these are the spoilers. Spoilers. So, did your wife, did she have to get written off so that she could be the monster? She could play the monster? Is that the trick of the movie?
No,
You got a
no,
legit
I'm
monster?
actually the monster in it.
Whoa.
Yeah,
No
so
way.
actually, so the very end, when she's sort of pulled in, that's me just really quickly running back there and putting on gloves and then grabbing her and pulling her back. And then when she's also looking in the bush, that's my son with the sort of gloves on that are sticking out and coming back in. The
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way that moment is timed when you first see the monster pulling his arms back in is like so masterful. Like, there's in found footage movies, sometimes like the smallest movement can be the creepiest movement as opposed to like the large, huge, scary thing. So, I think it's really cool that that's the way you went with this one. Um, how much of like the monster like did you guys like think about like do you guys have like lore behind it? Is it just like the monster in the bush, that's it? Like, you know?
It's essentially just a monster in the bush. And as far as built out how it looks, it was one of those things where we really just wanted to go with what we had around the house. So we didn't spend any money on this at all. It was, we just sort of let's have a fun project where we have what we have. So we couldn't really build anything up other than the arms. So that's essentially all we had in our minds was these furry, creepy arms that reach out and grab.
Okay. And then the VHS camera sort of, does the half the creepiness for you, I guess.
It does, absolutely. I
Well,
love the look of VHS. I think that's why a lot of 80s films are 80s horror films are enjoyed more on VHS than you would, like 4K, especially if you grew up with it, because it's that aesthetic that really sort of draws you in, and it's creepy as hell.
mhm. The final shot of the movie, the way the camera is placed on the ground and it like frames the fence and the hedge, and then there's
Mm.
like a diamond hole in the fence that's like at like the center of the frame. So anytime anything like the monster like cuts through, it has to cut through that diamond hole. Um, what did how did you guys arrive at that shot? Because that's a really cool ending shot. It like, it almost had like I thought almost had like a found footage Wes Anderson sort of framing to it. Um, tell me about it.
That one was just a lot of practice. That's actually we worked on that shot longer than anything else in the entire short. I think probably for an hour we rehearsed doing that to the point where they were done with it, and that take that you see is really the only take that we got, because they were so tired of rehearsing and figuring out where to go and setting the camera down. I had marks all throughout the yard in the backyard as to where exactly where to set the camera down. And yeah, it took a lot of time to get that set up, but I knew when we were doing it that that would be the easiest spot to grab a child and pull them in without, hurting them, because there's enough space between the fence and the hedge. And also, I just knew it would look really cool.
Kudos, kudos.
Yeah,
And since it's your yard, you've been scouting those locations for so long,
for
you know
years.
exactly how to work it.
Yeah.
Um, so man, so much went on behind that hedge because you have to like put blood all over, put gore on two people, get into the monster costume, and then wow, that was like a whole facility behind there. This is insane. That's the real conspiracy.
Yeah, we had a whole table set up with 3 or 4 cups of blood ready for us to pour on to ourselves, and I had to show my son exactly how to do it so he would look great,
Hmm.
and then also direct his performance at the same time. And there was a lot going on with it. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that part.
So I'm trying to close out these interviews with letting the filmmaker I'm interviewing ask me one question about my film, Toy Blog Hunt. So, is there anything you'd like to ask?
I really enjoyed it. Man, so as I think I told you, was a collector of figures for a long time. As a matter of fact, I worked in at the I was an assistant buyer for licensed product in the Blockbuster corporate offices way back. So I got all of these
Whoa.
cool like McFarlane figures straight from them, and NECA and whatnot. So I recognize, the really awesome figures. I've got to know, in your collection, what's
My
your prized
most prized figure.
yeah.
Well, I don't really like collect for like value. Like that's
Mhm.
not my thing. I'm not like, I don't
I
have
mean, what are you
anything
most attached to is
like
essentially.
ostentatious. The only collection that I'm still currently feeding is me and my wife got really big into The Last Jedi. So anytime anything Kylo Ren or Ben Solo comes out, I have to add it to my collection. So we have a very beefy Rey and Kylo Ren collection. Um I love my Legos more than anything. So like a Lego minifigure, especially like a custom one, if I see it at a con, that'll definitely, get my heart. Right now if I had to pick like one thing to like just like hold and keep, I have like a Superboy action figure from the 90s that was mine when I was a kid. So that's like probably the most prized one. And his feet are all like, like the paint's coming off from like where I used to like chew it and stuff. So
Oh yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
uh, that's probably my number one fave. I think he's on the shelf behind me among the trophies of my kills. So
That's very cool.
yeah, that's good. I haven't had this question yet. That's a great question. Uh, so yeah. So let's take a trip over to for social media world to the Unnamed Footage Fest website, which is such a glorious website where you can buy tickets to Unnamed Footage Fest. Let's take a look at Yuffie. Here he is in his all his creepy glory. How are you doing, Yuffie? What's going on? That's right, Found Footy. You're gonna go hide? No, don't hide. Oh no. And let's check out where's his calendar? Calendar. So on March 28th, you can check out the short form footage block at the Balboa Theater at 11 a.m. And that will be your chance to catch all these great films and The Hedge by director Trey Murphy. Come on down. You got to check out the sweet VHS horror. It's gonna be immaculate. And I think you should continue. If you did a full feature on that old VHS camera, there would be some nerds who would definitely watch that, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'll sit down with the kiddo and we'll figure something out. It'll be a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for joining us, Trey. And I have been Steven. That this has been Trey Murphy. And wait, sorry. Oh my God, I almost forgot the most important part. Trey, do you have anything you'd like to plug? Please plug away.
You know what? There's a feature film that I co-produced, and I was first AD on, called Blood Dried Hands. It just hit Amazon. It's going to be hitting YouTube. Their feature films that they do sometime in June. You can find it on Vudu, or formerly Vudu. I think it's Fandango to go now, and a bunch of other streaming services. That one was a lot of fun to do.
Whoa.
My features Goatman. I wrote and directed that one. Terrible movie, but a lot of fun. And
I gotta check that out.
I'm sorry?
I gotta check that out. That sounds like it should be in a box set with Frogman, Goatman.
Oh man, I love Frogman. What a fun movie.
So Goatman is on Tubi, Amazon. What's on?
It's on Tubi. It's on Amazon. It's in Fandango to go. It's on my YouTube page. My cut is actually on the YouTube page. Everywhere else is the studio's version of it.
The big studio? What, they held you down? What?
It's well, no, they just put it out before I had given them the final version, because they were anxious to get it out in the world, which is cool. It's fine.
Whoa, damn! Oh, already the powers that be are stifling your creativity. Oh God. That's super awesome. I look forward to checking out Goatman. This has been Trey Murphy. I have been Steven. And remember, kids, when you go to Unnamed Footage Fest, you can bring in your VHS camera and you could shoot your own VHS horror movie at Unnamed Footage Fest. They'll allow it in the theater this time.
Hail Wunder. Hail Wunder.
Wundercast? Give it up for Wundercast, man. What an adorable name.
You're listening to the Wundercast.
What's up, everybody? This is Jason David Frank, Green Ranger. You're listening to Unnamed.
You can find it at Wundercast, and I know they love Effie.
I'd like to close this out by urging everyone to go over to wunderblog.com, and you'll see on all of our recent podcasts, and once I post this up there, there will be a link to D-Rock's Patreon account for ad infinitum.
Oh, why'd you start linking my Patreon exactly when I stopped updating?
Oh no! Never mind!
You can also...
No, I'm gonna update it soon, I am. Because Halloween-a-thon's almost over. I've been busy with Halloween-a-thon, so...
You
Sorry,
can
everybody.
Also support the Ringing Rocks roller rink and their GoFundMe to improve their local facility. You can check us out at Wundercast on TikTok and on Twitter. And thank you for joining us on YouTube.
Subscribe to the Wundercast.